Hey there. I wanted to share some information with you. I know all over social media, you're probably seeing people in the mortgage business talk about 2-1 buy downs. You might even be talking about it as well, and you may have a lot of knowledge around it. Just in case, though, I wanted to share a little bit of kind of the behind the scenes of the mechanics of how it works, what it costs. And so hopefully to equip you to be able to present it in such a way for your clients that is comfortable and easy to understand and doesn't have you fumbling through a bunch of paperwork. So I'm going to share my screen and show you the scenario of a $400,000 purchase with 10% down. Now we can also take a look at purchases at different price points with 5% down and so forth. But I wanted you to have something just to compare. And what I'd like to do is show you not only the 2-1 buy down that everybody's talking about, but also how it compares to a permanent buy down and how it compares to doing nothing at all. So let's take a look real quick. I'm gonna share my screen as soon as I can get the right button. So here we go. This is 4 different scenarios. I've got the 2-1 buy down in the first column, a permanent buy down of the interest rate by 1% in the second column, permanent buy down by 1.5% in this third column, and the full rate, no buy down, no seller contribution for that in that third column. And you can see all of these are the same loan, $400,000. We're putting 10% down. So we have a loan amount of 360. And this last column, current rate, 7.25%. It takes them to a monthly payment of $33.83. So let's keep that in mind while we look at this 2-1 buy down. So in a 2-1 buy down, and I'm just going to assume you don't know much about it. And so not to insult anybody, but I just want to make sure that I cover anybody that's listening. So the 2-1 buy down, you're going to buy down the interest rate by 2% for the first year. And then you're going to buy down the interest rate by 1% in the second year. And then the third year, the mortgage floats back to that original rate of 7.25. So today, now obviously rates change all the time, but today the 2-1 buy down would bring that 7.25 down to 5.25 your first year. So here you see it there. It brings our payment down to $29.15. That's a nice payment savings of $467.90 a month. Now it goes away. And that's the big thing about it is that it's temporary. Now it is less expensive, which I'm going to show you that in just a moment. But let's walk through these other 2 scenarios. So here we're going to buy down the rate to 6.25%. It's going to drop us to $31.44. Now, while that is a lot better than $33.83, it's more expensive than $29.15. And also I need to mention, because I forgot to say this, these payments include estimated property taxes, insurance, and mortgage insurance. So I don't ever like to tease people and mislead them by just sharing a principal and interest payment, because that's not the check that they're going to write every month. So we need to share all the information. So that's what these figures are, including everything except HOA. So in 6.25, obviously it's better than 7.25, but it's it is permanent. So that's another benefit. And then if we buy it down to 5.75, which is 1.5 points difference, our payment's going to drop to $29.50, which is pretty darn close to this $29.15 payment on that temporary buy down. Now, as you might imagine, there is a cost to that. So let's take a look at these costs. I'm going to go over here to my, oh, actually, I think I have it on this page. No, I got to go to this page. So here on my closing cost page, you see, obviously here, this one where we're not buying down the rate, there's no points associated with it. On the 2-1 buy down, the points are going to cost 94.28. And what people are doing or suggesting is that the seller pay points to buy down the rate for the buyer, as opposed to them dropping the price of the house, because we know that that's starting to happen. So this is a better way to preserve the neighborhood, preserve, prices, and not see, our prices tumble, but yet give a concession to the buyer that makes it easier for them to get in the house. So a 2-1 buy down is the least expensive way to go, but it's temporary. So that's the drawback. So this would cost $9,400, whereas a permanent buy down to the 6.25 is going to be 10.7. So $1,300 difference. But look what happens if we try to buy it down by 1.5. We are double what this 2-1 buy down cost. So as you can see, that's why everybody's talking about the 2-1 buy down, because it's probably something easier to get a seller to agree to than, $18,000 on this price point house. Now, the drawback, as I mentioned, on the 2-1 buy down is it's not permanent, where these other two are permanent. And since these two are so close, the 2-1 buy down versus permanent buy down of 1%, it may be, we're talking about $1,300 in this example. So that may be something that's like, go ahead and ask the seller for that extra 1,300, or just ask for 1,000 and see if you can get, most of the way there. And that way your buyer at least is in a position of having a lower payment. We'll go back over to that. That payment's $3,144 for life, as opposed to it jumping up eventually to the $3,383 figure. So that's a 2-1 buy down in a nutshell. That's it compared to the permanent buy downs and the no buy down. So I hope this information helps you in your conversations with buyers, helps you understand what a lot of people are posting on social media. I have a calculator that I use to determine what that 2-1 buy down point factor is. It changes with each price point house, and as you might imagine, the loan amount and FICO score and everything. But if you want to reach out and just ask me to run some numbers so you can put some proposals together for your clients, I'm happy to do that. I promise you. We are all in this together. I know it's a tough market. I'm here for you. And if there's anything at all that I can do to help you win more buyer activity, or win more listings, or help your sellers, help your buyers, I'm here. So just give me a shout. So hope you're doing well, and let me hear from you. Have a great day.